Hello.
Hi.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Sharon.
And today we are going to highlight our incredible Gilbertsville Farmhouse catering. So we decided to have a tasting in the middle of our
Tasting
chandelier
season.
barn.
Oh.
And tasting season.
Yes. So we are in the middle of our tasting season. Every beginning of the year, we host all of our couples and give them private tastings like this.
Yeah.
And so Victoria and I decided that we deserve one too. We love to sample the food. The food is incredible here, and we make sure that everything is on point as it should be for all of our amazing couples. So this is our tasting today, and here we go.
All right. That's how we get our first course. So
first of all,
well,
salute to you. Cheers.
To 25 season.
Yum.
Tastes good.
I guess we're not working after this.
So a highlight here at Gilbertsville Farmhouse are our incredible harvest boards.
They are huge. This is a mini sample, but our harvest boards are humongous. They're 4 foot long and full of amazing food. So one thing I love to highlight when we're talking to new couples is that our artistry is in the food and not the fluff. So our boards are art pieces and all of the art is in food design.
What's your favorite thing on the charcuterie board?
So my favorite is the goat cheese wrapped in red pepper flakes. I am all about spice, so I love this. I think this is actually literally my favorite thing on the board. I just realized that, thank goodness we have our amazing team and our amazing event director, because I just realized I have no table etiquette. So I didn't even take off the napkin, which I have now, and I don't even know what to do with my knife.
Oh, leave it there for now.
Leave it here for now.
Okay. So now we're switching over to appetizers.
So we have beef corn and meatballs, crispy eggplant sandwich,
Oops, hold on.
chicken waffles, it doesn't want to stand up. This is the lamb lollipop that the client requested. We have a lobster corn fritter with a...
Those are my favorite. Everybody knows about my lobster fritter obsession.
This is an apple chutney.
Okay.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, kitchen. So there's a lot to talk about here.
We invest, I would say, as much passion as we have for the venue itself into our culinary program. I am the taste tester, and anytime we have something new that we're adding to the menu, our kitchen, as they're developing the recipe, I have the amazing honor to taste test everything. And one of my big passion projects, I guess, when it comes to the food, is for the food to really showcase how do I explain this? What the dish is. So I said lobster fritter before because I always use lobster fritter as an example. So we have our lobster fritter here, which I'm going to sample first.
Cheers.
Cheers. I love this thing.
So a lot of the time, this is kind of like a croquette, right? And a lot of the time when people make croquettes, or sometimes, they really smooth out what's inside of it. So you kind of can't see what's inside of it. It just kind of feels like a mashed potato.
Exactly. There's so much that you can there's filling, right? So you can really hide the main attraction of the hors d'oeuvre with the filling.
And this is a rustic version of a croquette style appetizer. And I just want to show the camera here how you can actually see some of the lobster. Sorry, you're seeing my bite, but you see actually some of the cooked lobster in there and what's in it. And not only does it add texture to the hors d'oeuvre, but you can taste it. And it's the quality of the dish or the hors d'oeuvre, right? I always say, anything that we prepare, whatever the name of it is, you should be able to blindfold me, put it in my mouth, and I should be able to at least say the main ingredient in this hors d'oeuvre. So when I eat this lobster fritter, if I didn't know what it was and I was blindfolded, and someone gives it to me, I should say, I don't know exactly what this is, but I know for a fact that there's lobster in there.
Otherwise, why would it be called a lobster fritter? Right. That is the main thing. It's like everything has to be. I guess it's like the standard and the quality, right? It's like
I also think it's like just like the flavor, like not being bland, being very high flavor. So like, I don't know, like I've been to a restaurant, right, where it's like a lemon something pasta, and it's like,
yeah, it's like, is there lemon?
I'm so
like
excited for the citrus flavor,
yeah.
and the citrus flavor is not even there. If it's there, it's so subtle you can't taste it.
Exactly.
And that's disappointing, especially when you're craving something. So when our clients are seeing a lobster fritter on there and they want that lobster taste, they're going to have that in there without it being like, here's just lobster. Like, it's a very creative hors d'oeuvre.
And you're kind of like, you're making sure like the integrity of the, I keep saying dish, but of the hors d'oeuvre is there, right? Like if this is a lobster fritter, the one thing that should be in here, very obviously, is lobster.
Absolutely.
And that's easy to mask with the other parts of this item. And that's where, the quality comes in, right? It's like, is the caterer investing in this to the degree that the customer should expect,
Yeah.
So here we do.
All right, now I'm going straight in for my favorite, the chicken and waffle bite. I love this one specifically because two things. One, the batter of the chicken, the breaded chicken, is so rich that I love it so much, and it just like has its own punch. And then you add everything else on. It is like the perfect chicken sandwich.
And the jalapeno spice, love it.
Do you guys know the ingredients that are out? Like the maple syrup, the jalapeno maple syrup that complements with the pickled jalapeno.
I do know.
And the
No, I knew that it was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, keep going.
Tell us about it.
yeah, it's got like a pickled jalapeno. The syrup itself is infused with jalapeno and then sugar, and the batter is made with actual vanilla, not imitation vanilla. And we make every waffle in house, and the chicken is a buttermilk marinade with pickle juice and hot sauce. Which is
That, no, you could
punch.
taste that for sure.
It's
Yeah.
the brininess
Yeah.
and the punch
Yep.
that we like.
Yeah.
The chicken gets also marinated in that, and then it doesn't get dredged in egg. It goes from the buttermilk into the battering process, which has all the, garlic powder, paprika, salt, pepper in the batter itself. So
No, you could taste, and I feel like now that you said that, I'm like, yes, that I taste all of those things. And I want to say one last thing.
Go ahead.
Because I shoot at other venues. Tenderize your chicken, please. That is like such a big deal. Like, I don't want to have to like gnaw at this delicate hors d'oeuvre to be able to get the full bite.
he does
So
that with the chicken breast.
tenderizing the chicken is so about like, it tastes so soft and juicy, and it's incredible.
Yeah, and it's so interesting, right? Because once you are actually in the kitchen and understand what goes into every single hors d'oeuvre or dish, like there are many times that I work in the kitchen and I can spend hours peeling off the thyme pieces off of like the herbs, like everything is fresh, everything takes time. And we don't even have freezers here because we don't even want to allow ourselves to get lazy, and that can happen, and we're human, right? But everything here is fresh, homemade. It's oh my gosh, I can't even talk.
They're not chefs, they're culinarians. Culinarian staff that understands the science.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
This is our guy right here.
Yes, what he said. Oh, well, I skipped.
The pickle juice is what tenderizes the chicken and makes it juicy because the acid breaks down the membrane on the outside and makes the chicken tender.
Good.
Thank you.
What's that one?
This is the apple.
I know it has
It's
apple compote on top, right?
Apple chutney.
That. But what is the name of the hors d'oeuvre? We should know this. I should know this.
I don't serve.
I write this.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that rudely. I mean it like I would be fired if I was a server here. That's what I mean.
Herb crusted crostini with an apple chutney.
Okay.
And it's
Topped with
delicious.
Micro basil.
It's delicious.
It is delicious. Wow, this feels like a very fall. Well, yeah, fall, right?
Yep.
It's I don't know. It's like so delicate. Like it's sweet.
Yeah,
And
yeah. But the texture
and
from the crunch.
yeah, the crunch and the texture of the apples. It's so delicious. And you don't. I don't know. Before we started catering, I never really thought about fruit on.
Savory things.
Yeah, and like in hors d'oeuvres and why, like now there's so much, I understand so much more like the, what do you call it? Like the diversity of, right? Like making sure that you have fruit, making sure that you have things for vegetarians or vegans. I love that it's not like an afterthought, right? I love that anything like the hors d'oeuvre with the fruit is just as incredible as the chicken and waffles.
Hi, Editor-in-Chief here, also resident vegetarian on the staff, and I gotta say, it is definitely not an afterthought, and that is greatly appreciated by me. Vegan and vegetarian dishes at Gilbertsville, 10 out of 10.
And as like the bacon bourbon meatballs that I'm gonna have right now, that is another crowd pleaser. I think this is like on
I've seen it on
85% of our menus.
Yeah.
This is basically in layman's terms, these are made with filet mignon.
Filet mignon and
So
bacon.
these bacon bourbon meatballs are made from filet mignon. That's how we roll.
Yeah, we butcher our own meats. I mean, not like, we don't,
We don't
have the cow,
harvest,
but
yes.
yeah, we don't harvest, but we do butcher our meat, and we make our own everything from
No,
scratch, including the meat.
Our,
the meatball.
our catering program truly is over the top. It's one of the best in the industry. We are Michelin standard all day long. I just need Michelin to rate non-restaurant caterers.
That one is sous vide. The pears and the apples
Ah,
are sous vide
they're
for
so-
6 hours.
It's like fragrant.
It's like
It's
poached
so
pears.
good.
It's apple and pear. Both of them are both cut down, hit with red wine, brown sugar, a little bit of
That
cinnamon.
is delicious.
They sous vide them both for 3 to 4 hours apiece, and then you let it sit, and then and then he cuts.
And just like, like I said, I used to not appreciate how much goes into these until we started catering. I mean, everything that he just said,
like the amount of time.
the amount of
for one
time
hors
and
d'oeuvre.
investment into one hors d'oeuvre, it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
it really is
Yeah.
crazy. And I understand why that could be too much
For a kitchen.
effort for a kitchen, right? But that's again, this is
Yeah,
not
we are-
supposed to be like a commercial here, but it's like, it is the standard, right? It's like how are these dishes being made?
Like,
What
you're
is the
not just
investment
feeding your
into
guests
it?
for the sake of feeding your guests because it's a wedding. You're actually giving your guests a culinary experience here. Like it is actually a true culinary experience. It's not just like, here's dinner, thanks for coming. It's like you are almost like bringing your guests to a tasting. It's very delicious food and very intentional food.
Yeah.
So back to what I was saying about the customization. So here we actually do have lamb chops on our menu for an hors d'oeuvre, but in this particular case, our client has a restaurant and wanted to introduce us to their recipe so that they
They
had a
requested
little
that we
bit of
duplicate, their touch.
their touch on lamb chops.
Yeah.
And so
They're delicious.
we're very dedicated to making sure that you get the customizations that you want. And customization doesn't mean just whatever custom menu you're looking for, like pick from these things and make your own menu. It is truly like my grandmother, we had a client who wanted
Coco's
their
lasagna.
grandmother's lasagna, and we tested it and tested it and tested it until we got it perfect. And our clients came back to us and were like, this tastes like my grandmother's lasagna. And that is our entire goal. And being on the back end and watching certain things, like the painstaking time that we take to make sure that it's done. And one time we did a flan, for example, and that took 10 flans to get it right. And I think it took until the week of that we were like, oh my gosh, are we getting this right? And finally, the night before the wedding, we had them try it and we got it done.
The very last.
And it those things like make you want to rip your hair out because it's a lot of pressure to make sure that you're impressing and living up to this expectation. And so a lot of people might shy away from that, be like, we don't do custom, we don't do your grandmother's old recipe, but we know how valuable sometimes bringing that moment into your wedding day is, and we don't want to take that away from you. So here, we will always honor whatever family traditional dish that you're looking for, and I think that's super cool. So let's try this lamb chop.
That eggplant sandwich is so good
Ate it
because
the wrong
it's so crispy. It is delicious. Oh my gosh, so good.
Oh, this is so good.
It is very good. I like it a lot.
I like you a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's like a miso, right? It's a miso marinade, right? Is that right, Katie? The lamb chop? Isn't there?
All marinated in soy and
Okay.
Worcestershire and green
Excuse me.
onion with sugar.
Very good. It's very good. I like it. And it's so
Very
tender.
soft,
Like, oh,
yeah.
it's delicious.
It can be very hard to get like a crispy
Oh, yeah.
vegetarian, you know, like with vegetables, they can get a little like floppy and lose their integrity. And
That's why everything that we do when we serve, like especially an eggplant, we wait until the last minute to fry it, and we do it in batches, so it never sits in the hot box. We do it almost to order.
Can I say something about I want to kind of touch on that with regard to like our built-in coordination services. So we offer in part of our weekend wedding experience built-in day of coordination. And so we have our event director is our day of coordinator, and I say day of, although it's for the entire weekend. And that is something that not only protects your like your experience while you're here, right? So there's somebody executing the entire event on your behalf, and that way you guys are just like enjoying your time and your people, not having to worry. But also it protects the integrity of your food, because I don't know of any other situation where a coordinator speaks directly to the chefs. Here, our coordinator and our chefs are all part of the same team. So our chefs are able to fire off the food based on our coordinator's direction and timing, because he is in the room and able to speak directly with the chefs so that they are firing off at the exact precise time to protect the integrity of the food. I have learned since we started catering a few years ago that every second when a dish is ready to be served, every minute that it sits waiting, the food quality is deteriorating. And so here, that's another layer of protection for that culinary experience that we offer. Outside fork, right?
the walnut is like that perfect bite completion of this dish. It is so delicious. And it balances it out perfectly.
I literally
It's so
cannot
good.
think of another word but fragrant. Like, I feel like everything,
Yeah,
because
the
the
pears
pears
are
so
probably very
delicious,
free-
right?
yeah.
And it's like, it's even part of that experience. Like
And
every
we're
time
losing
I'm,
the fragrance here because it's 20 degrees outside, but
well, I'm feeling it. Oh,
The pears are poached in, again, poached in red wine, but they're not sous vide. He does it over the pan top, so it kind of really seeps in fast. So it's like a quick poach. And then he drops a cinnamon stick in it, and it's just.
I love poached pears. When I fun
the
fact-
walnut.
Yeah, right? You see? When I studied abroad in Argentina, my host father's favorite dessert to make us was poached pears, which I never had poached pears before. And it was the best dessert ever, and he would put condensed milk on top, and I came back 35 pounds heavier. It was delicious.
So good. It's funny because Latin culture has so much condensed milk, right? Like you can put condensed milk like
Anything, yeah.
Yeah, like your dad's childhood oatmeal was made with condensed milk.
Not on top, in like if they made
In.
farina, it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. So now as an adult, I'm like, it's not really supposed to have condensed milk. That's a dessert. But in Latin culture, condensed milk is in everything. In my house, my mother used to make dulce de leche from a can of condensed milk.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't have like just use condensed milk.
Yeah, yeah.
I never as a child ate anything with condensed milk in it except for dulce de leche. So I never even knew what that was. You know what I
see.
mean?
Yeah,
other than it being that.
Yeah, yeah.
What we usually trace
I need an etiquette class.
We're gonna do an etiquette class
Yeah,
next.
I need an etiquette class. I really do, because I don't know what to do with my forks.
So if you sit parallel with your fork and knife, it
Like
means that you're
this?
still eating.
Okay.
If you put it on your plate as like crossed over on your plate, it means that you're done.
Means I'm
But
taking
now,
the thing.
but now, are you taking this?
Yes, if you put it on there and you're
Put it on
taking
the
it.
plate, yes. But that's why you put.
I know, but I still have more to
Leave
eat.
it on the side of your.
You have other.
Oh, like in other words, if I was like, oh, I want a new one,
Correct.
I put it there.
Yep.
We need to film an etiquette class. I really want to do that. I think that's important.
You know, part of culinary school is learning how to set the table and do the fold the napkin.